Currents twist deep in the rising hum. Bass lines rumble like a distant drum. Lead synth spirals in a rapid chain, pulling every thought into its domain. Hi-hats flicker like electric code, patterns shifting in a heavy load. The riser stretches tight like a sealed command. Moments freeze in place as the pulses expand. Vector surge override, breaking the frame, cutting through distortion like a burning flame. Riding on the current of a fierce waveform, lost inside the drive where the circuits form. Molten spark, rhythms ricochet through the glowing dark. Vocal shards echo in a fractured sweep, slicing through the static where the signals lead. Softens like a fading glow. Silence curls around as the patterns slow. Then the lift ignites in a sudden blast, pulling every fragment back in a clash. Vector surge override, breaking the frame, cutting through distortion like a burning flame. Riding on the current of a fierce waveform, lost inside the drive where the circuits form. Echoes drift out in dissolving light, falling like embers through the quiet night. But the buried pulse keeps a hidden tone, waiting for the moment to rise alone. Static sparks drift in a crimson tone, low when pressure shakes the circuit bone. Sin waves ripple in a woven slide, pulling every fragment to the inner tide. Patterns loop tight in a mirrored spin, hi-hat slice then where the beats begin. Risers curl slow in a rising flare, tension drawing closer in the loaded air. Hang thin in the vacant air, then the thrust returns in a climbing sweep, pulling every second from the circuits deep, 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 deep. Pulse overdrive blazing through the night, twisting every shadow into shards of light, running with the charge of a shifting stream. Lost within the rhythm of a driving dream. align.
Voltage hums deep in a midnight glide. Bass crawls heavy from the system side. Lead lines shimmer in a looping twine, pulling all the echoes into one design. Hi-hats flick like an electric rain. Rhythms punch sharp in a coated chain. Rise a shift slow in a rising thread. Tension creeping close as the moment spread. Night circuit burning through the haze, flaring up the dark in a neon blaze. Riding on the pulse of the shifting maze, lost inside the charge where the waveform plays. In a rapid burst, patterns crash loud in a tangled thirst. Vocal fragments cut in a filtered glide, drifting through the noise where the shadows hide. Breakdown melts soft like a dying spark. Silence holds thin in the breathing dark. Then the lift revives in a sudden climb, pulling every motion back into the time. Night circuit burning through the haze, flaring up the dark in a neon blaze. Riding on the pulse of the shifting maze, lost inside the charge where the waveform plays. Night circuit burning through the haze, flaring up the dark in a neon blaze. Riding on the pulse of the shifting maze, lost inside the charge where the waveform plays. Fade out in a whisper line, trailing through the void in a slanted shine. But the night still hums in a silent spin, waiting for the current to rise again. Tight in a narrow bend, bass shakes low where the shadows blend. Lead tones spiral in a broken climb, twisting every moment out of time. Hi-hat snap quick like a coated flare, pattern slice clean through the weighted air. Rise up pulling slow in a tense incline, holding every echo on a faulted line. Signal fracture cut in through the frame, splitting all the noise like a wild flame. Riding on the break of a warped domain, lost inside the drift where the waves unchain. Kick drum bursts in a jagged slam, rhythm shatters sharp like a metal can. Vocal shards shimmer in a drifting haze, falling into patterns where the circuits blaze. Breakdown sings slow like a drain machine, silence trembling thin in a ghost-like sheen. Then the burst ignites with a sharp recoil, dragging every signal back from the boil.
fracture cutting through the frame, splitting all the noise like a wild flame, riding on the break of a warped domain, lost inside the drift where the waves unchain. Frequencies fade in a trailing spark, falling like dust through the hollow dark. But the signal hides in a silent seam, waiting for the surge to reawaken. Cling, 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 cling. Oh. Pressure snaps deep where the pulses crack, baseline growls low, pulling shadows back. Lead drones tunnel in a frozen sweep, dragging every heartbeat from the deep. Hi-hats flicker like a frantic sign, rhythms punch holes through the tide and line. Riser climbs slow in a burning rise, filling every second with electrified skies. Core collapse, tearing down the grid, shaking every wall till the edges skid, riding on the blast like a force unhid, lost inside the push where the sound outbid. Kick hits roaring in a molten blast, patterns break fast like a system cast. Vocal cracks echo in a flaring streak, ripping through the void where the signals peak. Breakdown drifts thin like a hollow wave, silence holding tight as the beat behaves. Then the strike erupts with the blinding flare, pulling every fragment back through the air. Core collapse, tearing down the grid, shaking every wall till the edges skid, riding on the blast like a force unhid, lost inside the push where the sound outbid. Of the broken zone, yet the core still hums in a hidden trace, waiting for the crash of the next embrace. Flickers deep in a fractured arc, signal split sharp, cutting through the dark. Bass grows heavy in a sinking wave, dragging every thought to the path it paves. Hi-hats crackle like a thermal spark, pattern slice clean through the circuit's bark. Riser coils tight like a spark restraint, tension fills the room where the sound remains. Neon full line breaking from below, shattering the pulse Drums collide fast like a crashing tide. Vocal shards drift in a process sweep, ripping through the void where the shadows creep. Down hum soft like a dying beam. Silence folds thin like an empty dream. Then the burst hits hard with a laser strike, dragging all the chaos back into the spike. Neon fall line breaking from below, shattering the pulse in a sudden glow. Riding on the clash as the patterns throw, lost inside the quake where the systems flow. Neon fall line breaking from below, shattering the pulse in a sudden glow. Riding on the clash as the patterns throw, lost inside the quake where the systems flow. Fragments fade slow in a dwindling spark, trailing thin lines through the hollow dark. But the neon waits in a buried seam, ready to fracture through the next regime. Static coils deep in the fractured air, bass lines rumble with a coded snare. Lead tones spiral in a tightened spin, pulling every signal to the core within. Hi-hat snap like a sharpened thread, patterns cross paths where the circuits spread. Rise to climb slow in a crawling sweep, dragging every moment from the system's deep. Pulse divergence cutting through the haze, shifting all the waves in electric phase. Riding on the force where the voltage plays, lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Oh. Kick drum cracks in a rapid splice, rhythm surge loud like a mirrored slice. Vocal shards drift in a filtered wave, folding into echoes that the shadows crave. Breakdown thins out like a cooling flame, silence holds tight in a suspended frame. Then the lift bursts back in a sudden strike, pulling every fragment into perfect sync. Pulse divergence cutting through the haze, shifting all the waves in electric phase. Riding on the force where the voltage plays, lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Oh. Lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Lost inside the noise of the drifting maze. Oh. Waveforms bend in a flickered glow, fading slow into the undertow. But the pulse remains in a hidden line, waiting for the next loop to realign. Oh.
circuits hum low in a grinding stride, pulling every heartbeat into the tide. Glitches spark bright in a shattered line. Rhythms bend hard like distorted time. Pressure rises sharp in a coiled frame. Feeling every second rewriting the game. Voltage recoil, tearing through the zone, ripping through the dark like a forked cyclone. Riding on the shock where the sparks are thrown. Lost inside the surge where the charge has grown. Kick thunders deep in a primal shake. Patterns break wide in a sudden quake. Sim blades cutting with a neon scream, slicing through the noise like a fractured dream. Breakdown whispers like a fading wire. Tension hovering close to the edge of fire. Then the blast erupts in a roaring tide, pulling every signal back into the ride. Voltage recoil, tearing through the zone, ripping through the dark like a forced cyclone. Riding on the shock where the sparks are thrown. Lost inside the surge where the charge has grown. Echoes fall thin in a glowing trace, drifting through the static of an empty space. But the current waits in a hidden core, ready to ignite and rise once more.